ready.
Okay, go.
Hi guys, it's Casey here at Colonial Gardens in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. I am once again here in our Monarch Way Station with another wonderful native plant. This is great blue lobelia, or the blue cardinal flower. This is a native plant to much of the eastern and central United States, and it's another one of the hummingbird's favorites. So if you take a look, it's just starting to come into bloom. It's got these beautiful blue flowers, which we have a lot of yellows, even some purples in our native plant palette, but it's often very special to be able to get a beautiful blue color like this one. If you're familiar with cardinal flower, they're named after their red flowers. This is a sister species. It's Lobelia siphilitica, which if that sounds like syphilis to you, you are not wrong. It's actually named scientifically for its historical use as a syphilis treatment. Don't recommend eating it. All parts of the plant are inedible for humans, but it's a wonderful pollinator plant. So we'll see lots of native bees. We're seeing some very tiny little native bees come visit these tubular flowers. And again, butterflies and hummingbirds are huge fans of this plant as well. As this plant matures, it's going to get up to 3 to 4 feet tall. And one of my favorite things about this plant is that it's extremely flexible in the kind of light conditions that it's tolerant to. So it'll take full sun, over 6 hours of sunlight a day, all the way to full shade conditions. So if you have a spot in your yard that you're not really sure what category it falls into, you could try out the great blue lobelia and potentially have a lot of success no matter what those sun conditions are, because it is tolerant to the deep shade. It's also very tolerant of wet conditions. Really having consistently moist soil is a really important part of successfully growing the great blue lobelia. This is only its second year in the ground, so we planted it last summer. And you see just a couple of spires and a few more coming up, these spikes of flowers. My guess is that the backside of this plant will actually flower a little bit later, and that's because it was sampled by some deer this spring. So we saw just a little bit of deer damage. I would consider this plant maybe a B rating as far as deer resistance. It's not a plant that the deer really look for, but it's a plant that they're willing to sample if they're very hungry in the springtime when it's coming up. But since then, they've really left it alone. So after that little cropping from the deer on the back end, I think we're gonna get a second set of spires after the first ones set in. So over time, even though this one's about 2 feet tall, it's going to get much larger. And if it's very happy, it may colonize the area and take up more and more space, which would be really lovely to have just a drift of these tubular spires of flowers. Again, this is great blue lobelia. It's a great native plant for our area, and you can find it here at Colonial Gardens.